Welcome everybody to the first part, I guess, of our journey through the Book of Enoch. I've mentioned this a few times during my biblical journey playlist. It's a heavy book. It's a non-canonical. Is that a word? Canonical? Canon? Whatever. According to many theologians, but it's a book that keeps being mentioned in parts of the Bible, and there's a lot of importance to it. It explains a lot about apocalyptic prophecies, fallen angels, and why God sent the flood in the first place to wipe out all the evil that was on the earth. Enoch was one of Adam's descendants. I need to look to see where he came in the list, but he had the shortest life of the majority of the people around that period. I mean, they were all given, in the Bible, they were all given ages of sort of like 800 years, 900 years, 600, 700. Enoch had a very modest 300. I still think there's a good number of years to live, but he had 300. And unlike many of the ages, I think it's in Genesis 5 where they're reeling off how many years each lived. They actually state that Enoch lived 300 years, and he walked with God. Now, that in itself is quite interesting because it doesn't mention that about anyone else. It's just about Enoch. So Enoch believed in God truly, thoroughly. Now, the Book of Enoch, it was once cherished by the Jews and Christians alike, but it fell into disfavor due to the statements and nature of the book. Many didn't like the fact that the deeds of fallen angels was mentioned in such ways. The book was most recently discovered in Ethiopia in 1700s. Let me see if I can find a little bit of history. Okay, so yeah, in 1773, rumours of a surviving copy of the book drew Scottish explorer James Bruce to distant Ethiopia. True to hearsay, the Book of Enoch had been preserved by the Ethiopic Church, which put it right alongside the other books of the Bible. Bruce secured not one but 3 Ethiopic copies of the book and brought them back to Europe and Britain, when in 1821 Dr. Richard Lawrence, a Hebrew professor at Oxford, produced the first English translation of the work. But the book was denounced, banned, and even cursed by Rabbi Simeon ben Yochai in the 2nd century AD. So even in the 2nd century, they knew of this book. They didn't like it because of the deeds of the fallen angels. It says here that one of the church fathers, Philastrius, actually condemned it openly as heresy. But the book found its way back into circulation. So, I mean, there's got to be something about it. I mean, there's something that either it's true and it adds a lot of purpose behind a lot of the stories in Genesis, or it's a naughty book and we shouldn't be reading it. Either way, we're going to be naughty and we're going to read it. And we're going to see what we can make of it and see what we see. Let me just get through a lot of this dialogue. Go on for a long time here. So we'll start at the very beginning. Chapter 1, the words of the blessing of Enoch. The words of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the days of tribulation, when all the wicked and the godless are to be removed. And Enoch, a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God, took up his parable and said, I saw the vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angel showed me. And from them I heard everything, and from them I understood as I saw, but not for this generation, but for a remote one which is for to come. So I think it's important to say that the book is written from a third person. Obviously not the direct words of Enoch himself, so that might have thrown some dispute onto it. But I believe, if I read rightly, that it was written by someone who was close to Enoch. So it's not like it's been written many years after he died. It's been written around that time. The words were actually said to the author by Enoch. Okay, so concerning the elect, I said, and took up my parable concerning them. The Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread upon the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and will appear in the strength of his might from the heaven of heavens. And all shall be smitten with fear, and the watchers shall wake, and great fear and trembling shall seize them unto the ends of the earth. Excuse me, sorry. Now the watchers, I believe, are a group of angels, not to be mistaken with the Watcher from Marvel Comics or What If series. And the high mountain shall be shaken, and the high hills shall be made low, and shall melt like wax before the flame. That's an interesting one, because there's some mountains and mountainous regions in some countries which actually looks like the rock has melted. It's very strange imagery. Let me just see if I can find that. If you're new to me and how I do things, I explore it as we're on camera. There's no editing involved. This is just raw. I can't find what I'm looking for. I'll have to come back to that. But yeah, there's some places that the rock looks like it's melted. It almost inspires. It almost looks like it could have been a city at some point, and it's been melted, and it just looks like, instead of it being the cement and that of the buildings, it's just melted rock. So okay, that's interesting word in there. And the earth shall be wholly rent in sunder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish, and there shall be a judgment upon all. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the elect, and mercy shall be upon them, and they shall all belong to God, and they shall be prospered, and they shall all be blessed, and he will help them all, and light shall appear unto them, and he will make peace with them. Now that's an interesting paragraph itself, because I mean that could relate to two different things. One, it could relate to the fact that he elected Noah and his family and their wives to survive the flood that wiped everything out. Or it could be a pre-foretelling of Jesus Christ. So it's the wording's there. So something was known that God would make peace with the wrongs that are being caused by us, effectively. And behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So we're talking about blasphemy there, and general evil. And it'd be very interesting to know whether people think this is literal and like 10,000, not 10,000, 10,000s, so tens of thousands of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all. So I mean, we're talking about like an angel army, if you will. So yeah. I don't know whether there's any written history of that or whether that's what's to come. Who knows? We shall see. Now let me just see. Okay, we will go for one more chapter. Chapter 2, the creation. Observe ye everything that takes place in the heaven, how they do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in the heaven, how they all rise and set in order, each in its season, and transgress not against their appointed order. Observe ye everything that takes place in the heaven, how they do not change their orbits. Okay. I'm just sort of just running through my head. You've got an increasing number of people that are flat earthers, and you've got globers. Don't know if that's the term, globers, maybe. It's difficult, isn't it, when you sort of you've been taught so much about the Earth as a globe, and yet you've got people that are so convinced that the Earth is flat, but there seem to be arguments for and against, and then people say, but there's proof it's round. Then they'd say there's proof it's flat. And I mean, it looks like there's a curve when you're in an aircraft, but I mean, as it was pointed out and shown in a video on YouTube, that the windows that are there are sort of like almost like a fisheye window, so it automatically gives a curve. I don't know. I'm not here to judge people's opinions one way or another. It's just interesting that certain texts suggest it could be one or the other. So I'm always interested when I read something that involves like the heavens and the luminaries, the stars, and their orbits, because it's sort of like, okay, how does the Bible or how does ancient text describe this? So it's interesting. Sorry, gone off topic. I'll get back. Behold ye the earth, and give heed to the things which take place upon it from first to last. How steadfast they are, how none of the things upon earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water, and clouds and dew and rain lie upon it. Observe and see how in the winter all the trees seem as though they had withered, and shred all their leaves, except 14 trees, which do not lose their foliage, but retain the old foliage from 2 to 3 years till the new comes. So we're obviously talking evergreens. And again, observe ye the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth over against it, And you seek shade and shelter by reason of the heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with growing heat. And so you cannot tread on the earth or on a rock by reason of its heat. So, I mean, it's fair to say that regardless of whether you believe in global warming or you don't, at points, it's really hot. And it's going to burn your footsies. So, yeah. Observe ye how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. Wherefore give ye heed, and know with regard to all his works, and recognize how he that liveth for ever hath made them so. And all his works go on thus from year to year forever, and all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks change not, but according as God hath ordained, so it is done. And behold how the sea and the rivers in like manner accomplish and change not their tasks from his commandments. But ye have not been steadfast, nor done the commandments of the Lord, but ye have turned away and spoken proud and hard words with your impure mouths against his greatness. O ye hard-hearted, ye shall find no peace. So again, blasphemy against the Lord. It's arguably one of the, certainly within the early works of the Bible, I mean, in general, it's blasphemy. It's already there. Like, this is one of the worst things you can do. Denouncing God or blaspheming against his name. It's bad. You're denying the Creator. Therefore shall ye execrate your days, and the years of your life shall perish, and the years of your destruction shall be multiplied in eternal abomination, and ye shall find no mercy. In those days ye shall make your names an eternal abomination unto all the righteous, and by you shall all who curse, curse. All the sinners and godless shall imprecate by you, and for you, the godless, there shall be a curse. And all the righteous shall rejoice, and there shall be forgiveness of sins, and every mercy and peace and forbearance. So it's interesting, even here, it's more or less saying that your sins will be forgiven, but you denounce God, you blaspheme against, you're done. There shall be salvation unto them, a goodly light. And for all of you sinners there shall be no salvation, but on you all shall abide the curse of the beast. Now it's gone back and more or less said upon all you sinners. But again, all you sinners that do not believe in God or are not repentant need to delve deeper. Yeah, so for all you sinners there shall be no salvation, but on you all shall abide the curse of the beast. But for the elect there shall be light and joy and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. And then there shall be bestowed upon the elect wisdom, and they shall all live and never again sin either through ungodliness or through pride. But they who are wise shall be humble. And they shall not again transgress, nor shall they sin all the days of their life, nor shall they die of anger or wrath, but they shall complete the number of the days of their life. And their lives shall be increased in peace, and the years of their joy shall be multiplied in eternal gladness, and peace all the days of their life. So I think that's a good place to stop. That was the end of chapter 2. As you can see, there's a lot of prophesying from the Book of Enoch. This was the early part suggesting don't blaspheme, don't denounce God. This is what's going to happen. Next set of chapters will be the start of the fallen angels. It's a 190 page book, So there's a lot in it, and considering this could very well have been in the Bible, it already is in the Ethiopic Bible. There's a lot of meat in it, and it's interesting that like they kept Genesis as a whole pretty vague. Each of the books in their own way tell us something, but it's not meaty. Whereas Enoch clearly is a meaty book. Maybe it's not just one book; it's multiple books, but it's interesting. So if you're interested to follow along, like and subscribe, and we'll be back again next week for chapter 3, the fallen angels. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, and God bless.